Kaylee here, your product knowledge expert here again, this time reviewing a 2017 Honda Civic. The model I am in is the LX, and I am going to show you today why the Civic is so popular in the pre-owned market, so stay tuned. Like I said, the model that I am in is the Honda Civic LX. So this is Honda's base model Civic, but still comes really well equipped and comes with lots of space, even in a compact car segment. So now one of my personal favorite features on this car, as I've gotten to get to know it and drive it, is that digital display right there. So I'm a big fan of seeing a digital speedometer, information, things like that. You know, you can actually go through the screen and change the information that's displayed. Lots of controls set up on the steering wheel for you, which make it nice and easy to use. This base model Civic does come, equipped well with the backup camera, Bluetooth. You've got heated seats, which is wonderful on these winter days. And Honda's done a really good job of kind of setting up those controls in a fairly easy manner. The one thing I'm not a big fan of is, using a touchscreen as we drive. My preference would honestly be to have some kind of button or dial or things like that, especially that audio button right there. Now I know that they have gone back to the audio power button for the new generation, but for the pre-owned market, a little bit inconvenient. Now, as I said, good amount of space laid out nicely in the back seats there for you. So if you do have passengers that you're bringing along for the ride, then you definitely have room for them there. Even in the base model, a nice kind of quality cloth material. Reliability ratings on the Civic are rated quite high, and that comes into play even with the materials that they're using for their interior as well. Let's get ready for a drive. So bear with me, my camera is in a weird spot. Typically I mount over here on the vents, but apparently the screen gets in the way a little bit for my camera mount. So you're in a weird spot today, but that's okay. So we're gonna take this thing out for a drive. Now, like I said, the trim that I'm in today is the LX, which is Honda's base model, but again, still, like I said, really well equipped. This does have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, which is putting out 158 horsepower and 138 foot-pounds of torque, which doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot, but Honda's managed to make it feel like a little bit more. That is now paired up with that CVT transmission. As you know from the last video, CVT is not my favorite, but I will give Honda this. Honda does make the best CVT in the market. It doesn't whine quite as much as some of its competitors. It still doesn't have any gears, so it doesn't feel like it has any gears, which is kind of the feel that I like. Now, headed up these windy roads and things like that, hesitates a little bit, but nothing terrible. It is handling well in the corners. I do find a little bit of play in the steering wheel, but again, that might just be my own personal preference. Now, with that CVT transmission, with that 2-liter engine, you do get really great fuel economy. You're going to get 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's an average highway city combined. They are rated for, I think, about 5.8 on the freeway. So if you are somebody that has a commute and you're on the freeway every day, this is definitely a vehicle that you want to look at to save you some money at the pump. Yeah. Overall, drives been pretty good. Handles fairly well. My butt is nice and toasty. These seat warmers work great. Cloth seating quite comfortable. Only real complaint would be, again, in that audio department. I don't find a lot of the touchscreen buttons easy to use when driving, which, for me is really important because the majority of the time the driver has control over the audio situation. As well as I don't feel like they put enough effort into getting a high quality stereo system in here. I know it's a base model car. I know that's going to be part of, you know, cost saving measures. But I have been in competitive vehicles in the same set, in the same price range, and their stereo system is much better. So if you are spending a lot of time on the road enjoying your tunes, this is not going to cut it for you. But if those are not major concerns to you, and overall reliability, fuel efficiency, and kind of fit and finish are kind of more, well, your cup of tea, then the Civic is definitely something to look at. We can't fault it for being reliable in any way. We can't fault it for being fuel efficient in any way. And, you know, really well spec'd out for an entry-level vehicle, especially those heated seats. I mean, you know, that's a fantastic feature in the winter. I'll catch you guys after. So I have arrived back from my drive, and so just a quick recap for you guys. We are in the 2017 Honda Civic LX. Drove really well, handled nicely, a little bit of play in the steering wheel, not quite as much power as I want out of a vehicle, but you know what, it doesn't lack anything either. And it'll be great for you to commute all around. Now, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We are going to keep going with all of these reviews, all on used cars. And again, if you have something that you'd like to see, let me know. Thanks for joining us.